Cornwall's future looks to be increasingly export-driven with no boundaries. For example, despite there being over 11,000 miles between them, Cornwall enjoys an increasingly close relationship with New Zealand. There was a time when startups from New Zealand, looking to expand into larger international markets, had no choice but to head into major cities. But today, Cornwall is a viable and attractive alternative, providing a springboard into UK and European markets. New Zealanders who are fond of stunning landscapes, rugby, surfing, or simply a more relaxed way of life will instantly feel at home in Cornwall. But an office with a sea view is no good without superfast internet. The world's largest rural fibre broadband network keeps businesses connected, and with easy access to 2 airports, Cornwall is a convenient gateway to European markets. Of course, the relationship goes both ways. For Cornish innovators, New Zealand represents a large overseas market where many products and services developed in Cornwall will play well. In the past couple of years, Cornwall-based businesses attended the enormous Field Days Agritech event in Hamilton, where they gained both new business and new investment. This is just the start. Working in private equity, Colin Groves migrated from Cornwall to New Zealand. We split the time difference and met over video for him to tell us more.
There was a team of 4 came out from Cornwall, and we've ended up with a trade agreement between Cornwall and Waikato. I certainly see opportunities for Cornish companies coming to New Zealand and using New Zealand as the beachhead to go into not only Australia, the Pacific Islands, but also into Asia, because the connections into China and Japan are superb here. A lot of our kids learn Chinese and Japanese at school.
Why will New Zealanders love living in Cornwall?
Very simple, it's economics. We're 4 million people down here in New Zealand, and you're probably 60 million up there in the UK. So potentially the marketplace is 15 times the size, and that's just the UK. And despite Brexit, you guys are sitting on the doorstep of Europe. So I would say if I was an entrepreneur Kiwi and looking at where am I going next to grow my business, the logical place is the UK.
Cornwall presents a particularly strong proposition for agriculture and agritech businesses. From the temperate climate to the farming environments and working culture, there are many similarities between Cornwall and New Zealand that help them adapt easily and get to work right away. Additionally, the sector is well supported by funding and research opportunities, allowing businesses to develop their solutions at pace. We travelled to Truro and met the team at Glas Data. The company was founded by Rob Sanders and Colin Phillipson, who met through a MA Entrepreneurship at Falmouth University. We spoke with Rob about their business journey.
The whole idea was to aggregate information in the agricultural sector because we saw that there was already a lot of information, but to do anything useful with it was a lot of effort to try and get it into one place and make it into a coherent picture. So our platform, which we call Glas Core, was designed specifically to do that, to automate that process and make it really easy. And it's built fundamentally on the concept that things are interconnected. So if you go and you change some of the way that the soil is made up, for example, you're going to have a knock-on effect throughout the entire farm business. So if you can map all those changes and map the relationships between them, you're going to fundamentally have a more productive and more sustainable environment.
What else is great about working and living in Cornwall?
There are actually quite a few funds and investment vehicles down here. So I mentioned Launchpad, which was publicly funded and privately funded in order to kind of give the founders of potential companies a year on which to work on their ideas. Because of that support network, both advice and also financial, it makes it a very, I wouldn't say easy, but certainly supportive environment in which to try and start something new.
Why is Cornwall a great place for a tech business?
There's been a lot of investment over the years in the connectivity down here. So in terms of distributing technology, it's actually very, very easy. The other thing is that there's a reasonably good mix of different businesses down here. So take the agricultural sector, Cornwall's very agriculturally sort of diverse. There's lots of different types of agriculture down here, which means that for us, building a platform that tackles issues in lots of different verticals, we can actually test it right here in the county before we then roll it out to other parts of the UK or even abroad.
Tech startups from New Zealand are also finding success here. With an ever-expanding community of innovative companies leading the clean growth revolution in Cornwall, there are plenty of opportunities for collaboration. This is combined with comprehensive business support and an academic infrastructure that enables research and provides a pipeline of talent. We met with Sean Wilson, co-founder of tech startup Simsage, who offer an alternative intelligent search engine for businesses. Sean explains the transition to Cornwall and how they're finding success here.
A well-worn path for Kiwis is to go to the likes of Silicon Valley, but a chance conversation had us talk to Cornwall Trade and Investment, and they said, have you thought of Cornwall? Gosh, Cornwall's, that's quite remote, isn't it? And they said, well, not as remote as New Zealand. Would you like to come over and see us? So they hosted us to have a visit here, where they introduced us to all the innovation that's actually happening in Cornwall. And we were, quite honestly, we were very impressed. You've got agriculture, you've got mining, you've got marine, you've got every type of renewable energy, and of course you've got technology that's supporting all of those. So yeah, lots of advantages in coming here.
So how has the move benefited your business so far?
The benefit of coming here is we've been able to establish a footprint here very quickly. And it's a much bigger market, and suddenly we're involved in many more industries than we would have been in New Zealand. And in fact, after 18 months here, we are already ahead of where we were after our first 3 years in New Zealand in our last company.
With every new business success story, the relationship between Cornwall and New Zealand grows stronger. Those who are inspired to move here can expect a warm Cornish welcome and a fantastic level of support. And with many who've taken the flight in the opposite direction, remarking that New Zealand is just like Cornwall but bigger, this developing link represents an incredible chance for Cornish businesses to expand their networks and reach new export markets. Working together, businesses from and in both countries are creating new opportunities and continuing to build Cornwall's reputation as a globally connected centre for business and innovation.